Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
And now for a devotional song. It was written by the mother of our ashram, Sri Swami Lalitanandji. It will be sung this evening by Swami Umananda, accompanied by Rajneesh.
Secretly Give me a drop of heaven. Let the pearls of wisdom fall. Oh, divine Mother, here I am, cold and hungry in raging sea. In a world of time and space, give me the cup of immortality. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. I implore you, O Goddess Lakshmi, abide in my house forevermore.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 3, known as Karma Yoga, verse number 34. Indriyasyendriyarthyarthe ragadveshavyavastitau tayornavasha ma gachet tauhyasya paripanthinau. Raga and Dvesha, pertaining to the sense objects, abide in the senses. One should not come under their sway because they are highway robbers. Now, to have deep insight, every verse is a condensed wisdom, and its meaning is not exactly as you literally see in it. For example, raga-dvesha related movement. Raga is called attachment, dvesha is hatred. All your senses operate, creating raga dvesha in your mind. And mind relates to conscious mind, unconscious mind. Conscious mind holds it for a while, but then it stores it in the unconscious. Raga Dvesha, what does that imply? Let me give you a little detail. First, Pantha marg, Paripanthinau, Swapanthinau, Paripanthinau. Panth refers to path that you follow. Real path that you have to follow when you come into human embodiment. First understand, human embodiment is a great privilege. And in this human embodiment, you really enjoy the privilege of having human being to do good to yourself. Be swapanthi now. Follow the path that will help you to attain liberation. Thereby you are moving away from not self to the self. But a great obstacle comes in through your senses. If senses are not well controlled, well disciplined, then what happens? Raga Dvesha, attachment, hatred, like, dislike. They dominate your minds. Raga Dvesha, Kama Krodha, Priti Apriti. Raga Dvesha, attachment, hatred. Kama, desire and anger. Something is likable or dislikable. They all come in the same line. So when you say Raga Dvesha, you understand all these points. Now take up any one of your five senses. Shabda, Sparsha, Roop, Ras, Gandh. These senses go after. Your ears go after Shabd, sound. It perks up. You are in a whole group of people, and suddenly you hear your name being whispered somewhere. You look. And what they are whispering is praising you, you like it. And if their whisper is not praising you, you don't like it. And that applies to all your indriyas. That's to these indriyas match up with five elements. Hearing belongs to space, akasha. Because through hearing you begin to expand. Next one comes air element. That's the basis of touch. It enters into your vitality. One little touch from a mother and your whole body feels thrilled. That one little touch from a tiger, that's a different matter. And bring it into a very closer circuit, even in the same cozy family if you are environed with someone. So environed that person says, come, make it up. Let my hand go on your head. No, no. Touch plays a terrible, profound part in human personality. It's tremendous impact on your mind. So in all blessings, the divine touch has to get into your head and so forth. Fire element, fire, sun that illumines, that relates to your eyes. And your eyes are touched by forms that you see, roop. All the world, human beings, even animals and birds, trees, flowers and fruits, blossoms, the whole world, you are drawing from the world through your eyes. And then again, the object of your perception, visual perception, can be likable or dislikable. Once you have a negative experience, then you saw somebody's face and your day went bad. You don't want to see his face again. I'm joking, but not joking at the same time. So every sense is creating a process of like and dislike and storing impressions in your unconscious. And come to next indriya, tongue, rasam. So water element relates to your tongue, all tastes. Imagine how much people owe to the tongue. Firstly, your health itself depends upon it. Secondly, all your festivities. Whenever you think of festivity, tongue begins to move. So tongue is not only for taste, but also for words that we speak. But when we speak, that's called karmendriya. Tongue becomes organ of action. Taste is called jnanendriya. There are many details. I will not go into too much of that. And then, earth element relates to your nose. Smell. Smell also plays a tremendous part, day by day, in all your beauty elements. There must be some little fragrance. And after eating onion and garlic, you need some smell coming, better smell coming out of your mouth. So you hide it by eating some clove or cardamom. I'm joking, but try to understand in a simple way how these sense perceptions play a tremendous part in this world. And there is nothing wrong in it. What is wrong in it? If the senses are being operated by an impure mind, through the impure mind that is dominated by kama, krodha, lobha, perverted desire, anger, greed. If that mind is operating through your senses, then you are moving away from the right course. Swapantha, the right marg, path that is before you, which is for attaining enlightenment. That has a purpose. You are not allowing the purpose of your life to be fulfilled. Understand, it's a very profound point. It requires subtle insight into psychology. You are not utilizing the senses through a rational mind. Rational, I'm putting in a spiritual way. Spiritually healthy mind. Then the senses become your big enemy. One should not come under their sway because they are highway robbers. That robber term is in translation of paripantinav. Paripantha means taking you away from the right course, moving you to a wrong course. Right course is to discover who am I, what is most important in your personality. Figure that out. And that's I am. Resolve that. Who am I? That's your purpose of life. And that I is Swa. And all the coverings for yourself, your body, see, remember the 5 sheaths, 3 bodies, your physical body is not really you. Pranas, vital forces, the mind and senses, intellect and ego, they are all para. One is called Swa, another called Para. Other than self. Self and not self. Both have blended in your personality. When you are turning your attention to body, mind, etc., these are all not self, because they are not going to stay with you. They are absolute ingrates. You have attended all them day by day, and they don't care. So, right way of existing is to follow the path that will lead you to self-realization. If you are following this, what becomes a hurdle in that movement is senses that are not controlled by your intellect. Those senses led by desire, anger, hate, those senses now distract you such a way that you don't know what is your purpose of your life. All you are thinking, tomorrow must be a better day. I will have more butter. I'm joking. So do not come under the sway of the indriyas. Shreyan swadharmo vigunah paradharmat swanushthitat swadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. Better to perform one's duty, even though imperfectly, than to perform the duties of others in a perfect manner. It is better to give up one's life while performing one's own duty, rather than to perform the duty of others, which leads to fearful consequences. Think about it. Shreyan swadharmo viguna. This has created a lot of misunderstandings or shallow understandings. The word dharma used in the Gita in different contexts has different meanings, just like towards the end of the Gita, sarva dharman parityajya. You are always telling dharma must be followed, and there comes Krishna saying, renounce all dharmas. So dharma implies that course of that movement that is leading you to liberation. Normal understanding of swadharma and paradharma, that's trying to do that type of job or that type of duty that has certain fulfillment for your heart. That's called swadharma. But trying to do things because it pays more, even though you don't like it, then it becomes paradharma. But that's a kindergarten level of interpretation. First point to understand, you are a kshatriya, no matter which family you have been born to. Any soul deeply involved in battle of life for attaining liberation, the whole movement is kshatriya movement. Kshatriya movement comes from the word kshatra. Kshatra means chhata. You put umbrella on your head. This world is full of distractions, etc. Lot of rain coming up. But don't go after blaming the rain. Put your umbrella. Don't go after the world. Start holding your senses under the control of your mind under the control of your intellect. Allow your intellect, ego movement to become surrender to God. If you are in this movement, you work upon three aspects of your personality: thought, word, and deed. All these three, if they were to follow the path leading to realization of who am I, then you are a kshatriya and you are following that duty of the kshatriya. You are a real spiritual aspirant. In this pursuit, if you are not perfect, you find defects in you, doesn't matter. Better to start walking even though in the beginning you may be trembling. Overcome the tremble. Walk. Shreyan swadharmo viguna. In other words, Do not be upset by, I'm not succeeding in my meditation. Japa has been done such a long time, but nothing practical has developed. I have the same old house. I'm joking, but the idea to understand, not don't start evaluating your sadhana on the basis of your ego. Doing your sadhana, you are swadharma. And you are following your swadharma, you are kshatriya, you are real hero. As a hero, you must have weapons. Your three weapons: thought, word, and action. And if these weapons, your thinking process becomes very advanced, thoughts and will to do good, that becomes astras, not ordinary weapon. Until your intuitive knowledge becomes Brahmastra, that destroys ignorance. So you are building up a picture of a great warrior, not warrior, warrior. And has nothing to do with physical war and all that, nothing to do with it. It's an internal movement. If you are following Ashtanga Marga, 8 aspects of spiritual movement, Raj Yoga gives you Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, Ashtanga Marga. The first 5 is called Vahiranga. It's preparing you for a deeper movement. Last 3 is completely internalized, close to your goal. It's like if you are in a forest, you wander into the forest, that's external. Come into the cave and settle your cave, that's internal. This is your swadharma. To follow the path of sadhana, no matter what. Swadharme nidhanam shreya. If you have put yourself on the path of sadhana, don't think of what will happen if I don't realize while I'm alive. Doesn't matter. Your death will be better if you are following the path and you die. Following the path is virgati. Because your soul is going to have a higher level. You have not lost, wasted. Any good thing you do or achieve, that's never wasted. That goes on enriching your soul until the soul becomes completely free. Goal is to attain enlightenment in this very life. But you can't push it. Do your best. Leave in the hands of God. And don't run away from it because of the fear of death. Die while doing all this. Let the death come. If death comes in this process, 3 things happen. Sahaj. People face deaths The actual death does not give them too much trouble. But facing death day by day and counting the weaknesses that go on into the body, that brings so much calamity to the mind that actual death becomes surprised. But if you are following the path of dharma, death will not have that type of terror on your mind. Death will become so simple, just like a blossom comes out of a tree, a change occurs within yourself. So, that's first point, sahaj. Next point, while you keep your mind relaxed regarding whatever may happen in future, live your daily life with ras. Make up some ras. Go on taking ras up. In other words, do not live your life with a sense of boredom, with a sense of helplessness, with a sense of calamity. Calamity. Everything ends up with kal. Kal is death. That's called saras. And what inspires you in your life, you are Brahman. Sayujya. You become united with God. So in this pursuit of being united with God, you see your life handling difficult situations, emerging free of troubles, stronger than before, fighting against these enemies, attachment, hatred, all those 6 enemies, desire, anger, greed, delusion, matsarya, lots of jealousy, machars. So continue doing sadhana without having that idea of that death may interrupt your sadhana, or the idea of defeat, that this is too much to go after enlightenment, let's have good times. 36th verse. Arjuna uvacha. Athakena prayukto yam papam charati purusha anichinnapi varshneya baladiva niyojita. Arjuna asked, O Krishna, what makes a person commit a sinful deed even against his own will, as if he were compelled by force? And of course, this is the same point that Arjuna wants to clarify. What makes a person helpless? You listen to good teachings and you heard an hour of lecture of how to use sweet words. And you made lots of notes. But something little annoyed you and you lost all your notes. Why is that happens? That's a big problem with all aspirants, and it is normal. You go through years and years of sadhana, and something happens, and suddenly it seems that you are helpless. What makes one so helpless? How can you control that? And then there is a profound answer. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma vidyena miyavairinam. Remember, learn to understand who are your highway robbers, paripantino. What is making you move away from the right course? Kama esha, desire. Mind is unable to handle desire. Because desire, if intellect is pure, it will promote that type of desire which will lead your soul to its spiritual evolution. Simple way of saying, desire for self-realization. And as long as that desire has not developed, the desire in you is called calm. When you develop aspiration for God realization, it is called mumukshutva. Little difficult to say. But it's same desire. Desire for liberation versus desire for illusions. Desire to drink real water or desire to drink from the mirage. Follow the example of the deer ones. The deer go after water, mirage water, and their skeletons lie. It's very horrible picture. But it should be, one must understand. All these points must be understood by your mind in a nice way, not with emotions. Kama, Krodha. The verse leaves out Lobha. What is implied? Kam, Krodha, Lobha. These three are called three gates to hell. There are only three gates to hell. But you have four gates to liberation. So always let your mind work upon it. Four gates to liberation. First is serenity. Learn to promote serenity in your mind and serenity in the mind of others. Live in such a way that don't highlight mental stress within yourself, nor should you have the intention or unintentionally stupid to create a stress in the mind of others. That's shama. That's the gateway to liberation. With all your sadhana, that highlight, your mind must be, bring itself to a state of relaxed. What people these days are calling what yoga nidra, Shavasana. Many ways people are trying to capture that point, allowing a space within your mind by completely relaxing. And that space begins to develop more and more. That's called practice of serenity, where mind is neither being fed from the past nor it is waiting for the future. Plunges right away into the eternity that's always the reality behind you. And next point, santosh. Do not go on working with your mind. Why your neighbor has so many good things, goodies. You lack all the goodies. How wonderful it would have been if you had been someone else. Always comparing yourself with others. When you compare, you must realize your mind is working in a very dull-wit way, because you cannot really understand others. You have a hard time understanding yourself. So therefore, simple, profound point that in divine plan you are given the best for your evolution. And thank God. With that sense, start utilizing your resources. Move on the right path. Avoid those highway robbers. Don't listen to them. Follow your sadhana. Practice integral yoga in your daily life. And you will be led to your goal. But as I was telling you, the gatekeepers, I have told about shama, santosh, contentment, satsang, the most powerful help. Even when your mind is highly distracted, if you could just be drawn to enjoy good association presented by setting like this, where you hear about scriptures, teachings of sages brought to your ears in a right way. And then your own intellect says yes. It gives you a profound settlement within yourself. And the benefit cannot be described. And next one is called vichar. Vichar is inquiry, reflection. Who am I? Speaking about kama, krodha, Lord Krishna says, Mahashano, they are great eaters. Your desire, you go on giving food for your desire. It's like pouring oblation into fire. Desire never gets fulfilled. Your desire to see wonderful sights, somewhere in the world, Alaska, Hawaii, whatever. You go there, you come back not fulfilled. If you had a nice trip, you want a nicer. What wonderful time I had. And you do Jnani Yajna. Tell everybody, all your relatives, friends, show them the wonderful pictures. Hide those that were negative. So, desire goes on increasing. Your body goes on aging, but desire gets youthened. So they are great eaters. Mahasano, Mahapapma. They become the basis for countless sinful karmas. Karmas that will create a lot of trouble for you. Karmas based on hurting others. Therefore, these are your mystic spiritual enemies, kama, krodha, lobha. Try to overcome them. And I have already given you the 4 gates. Following those, and more subtle points will be given how to control kama, krodha, lobha. And the more you control it, the more your desire turns into aspiration, life has a totally different purpose. Outwardly, adversity, prosperity come to everybody. But internally, if you are on the right course, you face your adversity just like a sportsman face challenges. First stage, challenge, go to a certain height. Having come to it, I will go to another height. For the audience, oh, it is a risky job. To the person with adventure, it's an opportunity. Same adversity becomes a source of strength, because now we have to see how God leads you out of it and how you can initiate the whole process. So with this I'm going to conclude. I'm slow in my interpretations. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah Namah Shivaya.